Hello, Aspire. Middle of November and few new events going on in Poland. What is new?
Well, of course, we've crossed the threshold, where there's basically not much going on from, until Christmas. We got to have, except we did have the wonderful Independence Day March here in Poland on November 11th, which was quite a great.
Did you happen to take part in it this year?
This year, no. This year, I went to a function, a really grand dinner pre-Independence Day. That was just a celebration. There were some speakers there, myself included. I got to give a speech to some very great folks
On this very day, yeah?
on the 10th. On the 10th, yeah. But this year, I decided to sit out the march, and I'm sure you can
But
share your experience.
I can share your, but could you tell me, because you were in the prior years probably you were on the march, how would you describe this march? Because many of our viewers probably haven't been there, haven't what they have maybe watched some review of this march, but they have not experienced yet.
Well, of course, I came here as a student, and the university had
So first your march was like 2016, yeah?
2017 actually. Yeah, yeah. And I came here as a student, as I said, and I was warned, of course, about that it would be incredibly violent for any kind of students to stay away. And this is the kind of narrative that they deliver in the news and organizations and businesses everywhere. They really try to portray the Independence Day March as some kind of violent neo-Nazi operation, and it couldn't be further from the truth. Of course, there have been incidences that I'm sure you will talk about, police provocations. There's really seldom a conflict between the right and left parties when it comes to the Independence Day March. It really is a very patriotic, family-friendly march, just about the health of the nation, and it's a really great representation of the kind of people who care about this country.
Are you able to imagine or portray such match in another country rather than Poland? I don't know, in Germany or in US, for example.
You know, the U.S. Maybe to some
Or 4th of July, so for example, it might be.
4th of July. I mean, obviously the march has its different meaning, right? Because of the significance of the Polish country, the independence from empires of the past, and the United States, of course, right? We won our independence from another empire, from the British Empire. However, we've had 300 years of freedom, whereas the the year of independence for Poland is still fresh in the minds of the few survivors from that time where Poland was not a country. So yeah, I don't think. Of course, we have our Independence Day parades, but there's certainly not marches, and I think it would be more difficult in today's current political climate environment to really have that kind of unity to do something like that. But I think it's possible in the U.S. Certainly not in Germany. Maybe a few other countries would be prepared to show such patriotism, such national spirit, nationalism. To use a dirty word, right?
So we hope that is gonna spread to another country. But I know this march is taking place already since 16, 15 years, and it has not spread it so far. So we hope that maybe in the future, new generation. I can tell you just my story why I've stopped and I haven't been participating in the march for since 2014, so 10 years. Because every year I was 3 years straight on the march, and every time there was some provocation by police. Once I was walking in a crowd, and police started shooting at us with rubber bullets, and few people got really injured, and they did it for no fucking.
Can be deadly.
Yeah, it can be deadly. Somebody whatever.
It is just called less lethal rounds.
And what was their tactic? They shoot at you. They shoot at the crowd. Crowd is starting panicking. They are trying to. They are catching the people who are panicking, and they are saying that those were the bad ones who were trying to, I don't know, do some riots. And they afterwards they are filming it to the governmental propaganda medias, and they are showing it that we are bad people there. So there were like 3 provocations like that. People were beaten up, were attacked. So I've decided not to go anymore. And guess what has happened after 10 years? What could possibly happen?
Oh my gosh, fill me in. What's going on?
So our common friends from Germany convinced me to go there. 2024, I went after 10 years to the march. They told me, listen, we live here. We want you to go with us because we go every year. That's a great
This is
spirit.
some positive news. I was
Yeah.
expecting something negative here.
No, it was a completely the way around, because I was skipping this march and they said, no, you've got to go. It's completely different. And yeah, I was there. There was a bit less of this provocations. We had really great march. There were really like families with small children there. People were singing patriotic song, national autumn. We all had flags. So yeah, great experience.
Red flares. I mean, it's Independence Day is just like in Estonia. I would say that's a country who could do an independence march like this.
From Russia, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, again, the oppression of Russia really, is fresh in the minds of generations. And there, it's just like when I had the experience of their celebration of Independence Day in Estonia, it's like the fireworks are going off everywhere like bombs. It's to really to symbolize the warfare, the kind of carnage in a way of smoke, of explosions and things like that. And you get to kind of experience that in the march, especially when there's all these flares going off and the night is settling in, and it's just like you have the red lights illuminating. And it really puts you in the mind of what it might have been like to be a soldier at this time. Just the audio-visual senses kind of cueing this feeling of being in conflict, which is really what it should be there to remind you of. Is like this is a celebration, but this is just a taste of the kind of I don't want to say fear, but
would you describe this crowd as a bit aggressive, maybe? How would you describe this
I would say that there are definitely sections of the crowd that are aggressive in the way of their slogans, their chants. I can remember one very simple one, a 3-line, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But pretty easy. Honor, Bog, honor.
Bóg, honor i ojczyzna. So,
Very nice chant.
Yeah.
Very
You guys know it's all about God and your motherland.
Yeah.
But because I was multiply asked by people from another countries here in Europe, why are we not doing the barbecue on the Independence Day as people, I don't know, in Spain, in Belgium, or
United
wherever.
States.
I'm describing. I'm just always explaining that it's not so easy because
It's November.
It's first of all, it's freaking November, and afterwards, second of all, we have regained this independence from two big empires, and it was painful. Millions of people have given their lives for it, and these two big empires are still trying to take over our interest, our land sometimes. Even I don't know, Russia multiply now is trying to sabotage us or whatever, or Germany is trying to conquer us. New woke Germany.
It's having its own invasion with I mean,
They are trying to invade us economically in this regard. So we are still fighting. So it's not like this that we can just make barbecue, have fun, and so on. We prefer to show our independence, to celebrate our independence in a more let me say, active way.
I would like to say that Germany is the real woke Reich, as Bibi liked to put it.
And you know, we participant of the march. Okay, I can tell you also one thing that I have stopped going to this march due to the provocations in 2014, and back then we had the same government and the power. So this woke leftist government, agents of Germany and so on, multiply bribed. And recently I came back to the march and it's the same situation. So the provocations are come back. The previous conservative government they did not do any provocations. The march was safe 8 years straight. So now we have the same situation as 10 years ago. And one situation you told me that
Yeah. Did you hear about the changes in the Sejm?
yeah, like same. Although in our parliament, 1 week ago we were marching for our independence, and recently our parliament is nominating a new chief, a new marshal of the parliament, a real communist, declared communist. Have you heard about him?
Um, Only his, I mean, these are two very well. Okay, talking about just the marshal, he's still a very old guy, um, directly from the communist government, the previous communist government. I mean, it's incredible. I'm surprised these people aren't barred from ever being in government again. How could they even be allowed in?
Okay, so
Perplexing to me.
the like officially communistic party are prohibited in here in Poland, but this like left party, they got around 6% of the votes on last election. That's why he got nominated to be a marshal of the parliament. And short about him, yeah, he was in a communistic party, so he's supporting all of the ideology, even though
It's so mind-boggling to me that it's like you had this regime, you had the party members, and for them to be allowed at all to participate to this level, to this capacity, that they can be re-elected to any position of power, as what has happened with the marshal of the same.
okay,
Incredible.
it was in the contract of the peaceful transition from communist to democracy here in Poland in the year 89 that the communists are preserving for them 40 years of the places in the parliament. Even if nobody votes them, they are obliged. They get, let me say, for free this 40% of the parliamental seats places, and he was one of them. And okay, he's a communist, so he wants all of the people to be equally poor, but he's extremely rich guy. He has
Always are. Yeah,
they are right. And the best part is that recently, as his party is in the coalition in the government, he and his wife are stealing so much fucking money. They have like several companies that are receiving governmental contracts. So yeah, real communists. Yeah, equally poor everyone, and we are on the top making money.
So didn't he nominate someone else in the same for another position who's also another communist?
Yeah, like everyone in his party, because his party got like 6-7% in last election, so they are either old communists from these previous times, or they are children of them, or grandchildren already.
No, I mean, but it was another 70-year-old man that he elected to. I don't know.
Ah, yeah, so probably his friend from his party from 80s.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's bringing mostly all of his Chajasti. This guy is called Chajasti. His surname. So he's
Would
bringing.
be funny if they're communist gays.
They are. So he's bringing all of these old farts from 80s who have stolen so. And this guy is involved in every fucking corruption scandal in this country, and nobody puts him in jail because he has so many connections.
Yeah, it's,
So yeah, for us, for Polish Patriots, nationalists, and for people, because so many foreign people from all of the different countries have come for this match. 1 week after the match, or a few days after the match, we get communists on the top of our parliament. Good job, guys. Great. But
So I mean, this is part of the thing that why this year I didn't participate in the Independence March was because I mean if this was a threat to the government, it wouldn't be allowed to really exist. it's approved. It's approved, and the reason being is that this is just a steam release valve. Just letting people. I mean, it's great to have the representation out there. We need the representation. Just that the people doing it need to understand that until a march goes to the government building and isn't guided, isn't led by the police or government officials, then it's not really doing anything. But again, it's great to have the representation out there. It's great for nationalists from other countries, as we've said, meeting up, collaborating, making contacts, and building a unified network to address this. And that's another reason why I didn't participate, was because I want to focus more on making something more effective. Again, great for networking, and I encourage everyone to participate in at least coming together for this, because not everyone has the opportunity to sit down and dine with some of the people who have the potential to be movers and shakers in this movement. So yeah.
And I
Come
also
out for next year.
I also think that it's just very unique event in the whole world, because I don't really know if there in any other
Yeah,
country in the
it's
world
unique.
like.
I mean, for one thing, like we've been talking about, is that this is a family friendly event. You really and as you were saying, there's not really an event like this in well, maybe in few places in the world. So
I don't know them really.
it's should be something for your bucket list. It's an experience. It's incredible.
Yeah, guys. So see you next year on the Independence March in Warsaw.
All right.
Bye.